The screen is...
Thank you very much, Inge, and also Helen, for introducing me so kindly. I hope that you hear me talking and that the sound is good. I have only a few slides, and first of all, I would like to thank all the nurses in China and also in Europe for their hard work, their dedication in this extremely difficult period of life. We are now confronted with COVID-19 almost 8 months now, and in my own country, Belgium, we are now going to terrible numbers, even more terrible than was the case in March. And so our nurses are now starting to be very tired. Our nurses are now starting to be sick. Our nurses are now leaving the profession, in some member states up to 25%, because they have put their own lives at risk. And indeed, as this picture tells you on the top, we were very lucky that WHO has announced the WHO Year of the Nurse, and we were supposed to party. We were supposed to party a lot, but it totally went out the other direction. So let me say also in the context of Nursing Now, which was a movement, and I will come back to Nursing Now in relation to Florence Nightingale, it all comes back to crisis management and what our real job is as a nurse, to be frontline, to be with the vulnerable, and to operate in the most difficult situation at EU, European, and global level. And I can only appreciate, as Secretary General, all the work that the nurses and the other healthcare professions are doing. Anyway, the Year of the Nurse has been extended to 2021, and let's hope that the world can get vaccinated, as the left high picture shows, and perhaps we are moving then into a more safe environment. Next, please. Of course, my job here in Brussels is to look at the three pictures on the left side, and on top forms the round table that you see with the ministers, the Council of Ministers. These are all the ministers coming together in this difficult time to secure the funds, but also to look at what does the healthcare system means at the European level. And you know, we see a lot of patchwork still today. Everybody tries to solve their own problems in their own small corner and then try to fix it, but it doesn't work. This virus that we have now with us is way much smarter, and we should go beyond boundaries. We should go beyond borderlines. Therefore, the work in the European Commission, as you can see on the left side on top picture, the European Commission plays a crucial role in the future role of this healthcare system in the EU by writing legislation. And the Parliament, over 900 MEPs in the European Parliament, they need a crucial role to play to make the nurses and realize that the nurses are the backbone of the healthcare systems. And this is about, as Nursing Now says, to upgrade the nursing position in society, in the healthcare system. Next, please. And moving to the European Commission, you see on the left side top, or commissioner or president of the Commission, but in the middle on the left side, you see Commissioner Kyriakis, who is responsible for the portfolio on health. You see Vestager, who is Danish, who is responsible for digitalization. Then you have on top Breton, who is responsible for the internal market, and under it the commissioner for Schmidt, who is responsible for employment. And of course, Lena Kiksik, who is responsible for crisis management. With these 5 commissioners and their cabinets, I'm working very, very close to build that strategic partnership and to make sure that the nurses have a proper place within the development of future legislation and programs. Because in the middle on the bottom, you see a picture. EU citizens, global citizens, they trust the nurses a lot. And this is really a privileged position that the nurses are. And we have seen it many times during the COVID-19 period, that citizens are applauding and on terraces making music, and they support the nurses, the frontline nurses. And this trust is key to the development of artificial intelligence. This is key. This put us in a pole position to make sure that all the innovative developments coming from industry are translated to ordinary people. And we represent, EFN represents 3 million nurses. We represent in Europe, the European region, 6 million nurses. So that means 6 million citizens can be appointed as a coach to build that trust in artificial intelligence. Next, please. And of course, therefore, I really appreciated the intervention of our keynote speaker, Anna, who clearly said that my personal experience, my personal data, bringing that into an EU framework of an electronic health record, it's not called anymore the electronic medical record. That is long old time talk. We need to talk about the European electronic health record so that all the EU citizens can have their access to their data. And currently, EFN is a partner in 2 projects, European projects, on interoperate and smart for health, which go immediately to what Hannah has said. And I want to go further than what Hannah said, because she can collect her data from her diabetes through many sensors that are developed. I was extremely pleased to see that she also wanted to collect data on pain management. And I was also very pleased to see that Hannah wants to have her data on her mood, the mental health of her situation. And I know, as a diabetes expert in one way or another, that the wound care data at one stage will become very important. Because we know that diabetes patients, if they have a small wound on their foot, that it heals very badly. And we see some amputations sometimes with young people because the wounds are not closing down. And so this diabetic foot, all these data about wound management is part of the data that we need for quality of life. And I really encourage Hannah to look into this, to create together with EFN, to create together with these projects, a platform where all the citizens in the European Union can link to their data, not only for the patients themselves and their experience, but imagine that Hannah goes to shopping and she falls into a coma and she falls down and somebody in that store is helping her and the nurses are picking her up with an ambulance. It is very key that the nurses have immediate access to the data of Hannah so that they know what immunization that she had, that she knows what blood rhesus factor that she has, and that they immediately can see what medication she took so that they can rescue her and make sure that this happens in the most fluent way. So having said this, the nurses are with the patients 24 hours on 24, 7 days on 7. So the nurses play a crucial role in this data collection, but also in coaching the patients, the citizens, on, on how to do it digitally, because it is not so easy all the time. So before you start investing in digitalizing in the healthcare sector, you should invest in your nurses. And that is key. The nurses are your ally to bring up, because you have 3 million in the EU and 6 million in Europe. This is a huge workforce that you can use to implement, to scale up the digitalization and these tools. Next, please. And that brings me to the last slide, where you can see, next please, where you can see Florence Nightingale. Florence was, her birthday is now 200 years. That is why we have this WHO Year of the Nurse. And you see on the picture that she, 200 years ago, 150 years ago, when she went to the war in Turkey, when she came back, she collected data and she made statistics out of it. And because she wanted to inform the Minister of Health in the UK that they needed to invest in the healthcare system and in the nursing profession. So, to be honest a little bit, we are exactly doing the same today, exactly doing the same. So investing in education, investing in long life learning is crucial. Nurses need to have the knowledge and the right skills to deploy these digital innovations. And it comes all back to trust. Europe needs to build a trustworthy digital ecosystem, an ecosystem of excellence, and the nurses are the most trusted profession globally. And that comes on back to the collaboration, the co-creation of crucial policies where the nurses need to give input to these policies. Digitalization should be developed not to support the nurses frontline, not to draw them empty, not to ask them more, not to make them leave the profession. But nurses should be supported by the industry in co-creation to develop the best solutions for patients and citizens. And I hope by that, having thanked all the nurses and all the industry and the policymakers, we really look forward working very closely with you to make this all happen. The floor is back to you, Inge. Thank you so much.